Hanke, the superintendent of the Dublin School District. A round of applause. Okay.
Thank you very much. How's everybody doing today? Fantastic. We love coming to these meetings. We just love what you guys are and the environment and everything else. So thank you very much for inviting us. I'd like to introduce our board president, Sean Kenny, who is here with me today. And I'd also like to introduce trustee Megan Rouse, who is with me. You know, we were at a breakfast meeting that we have on Fridays, and I said, you know, we really need to go over to this realtors meeting today because they're very, very exciting people. The energy is just, you can just feel the energy. So we're really happy to be here. And I wanted to refer to a folder that is actually on the table in the back. If you haven't had a chance to get it, I suggest if you want some information about what we're going to talk about, you can pick one up there. That would be great. Inside of that folder, you are going to see a few flyers of information. One of the pieces of information is about our strategic plan and who we are as a school district. Other pieces of information that are in there include an important couple of slides that I'm going to talk about, which is about the growth in our community. Then there's a flyer that invites you to attend our parent meeting on the 19th and 20th on Common Core Standards and Smarter Balanced Assessments. Very important opportunity. We think that would be something that would be very useful to you as you talk to your clients. But this morning I'd like to start us off about talking about the school district, and I wanted to focus on the growth in the school district. Inside of that flyer you see a slide that talks about the building that has gone on in Dublin since, I'm going to say, over the last 10 years. And you can see that there has been significant growth in our community over the last 10 years because of the new building starts that have occurred. And yes, of course, there was a dip when we hit the recession in 7, 8, and 9. But you can see that the building in the community has recovered and has grown significantly since that time. So what does that mean to us as a school district? On the back side of that paper, what that means to us as a school district is that we are growing very, very rapidly in the number of students that attend our schools. The good news is that really helped us through the economic downturn. The challenging news is we're running out of capacity to fill those, to put the kids in the schools. In the last 2 years, as an example, Dublin schools grew 1,850 students in 2 years. And we expect more than 500 additionally this year and in the 2 or 3 years after this year. That's tremendous growth. Some of that growth, by the way, we can predict based upon housing starts. This chart. Some of that we can predict. We use a demographer, we use yield factors for the type of housing, and we're pretty good at that. We have exceeded that growth, however, each and every year. And we have to ask ourselves, so why is that? Why is it that our schools are actually growing faster than you could predict on the number of houses that are coming in? We like to think it's because of what we call the X factor. The X factor in our school district is about the quality of our schools, how our parents feel about the community and the schools, and the successes we have had in student achievement and in providing the environment that makes a difference. I'm going to ask Sean Kenny if he talk with you a little bit about his perspective on that growth factor. I believe Megan is going to add some things to it. Then we want to make sure that it's clear and answer questions that you have today. Sound okay? All good. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Sean, how about the X factor?
Thanks. Thank you guys very much for having us. Really, the X factor for us, it's one of those things where we've been looking at this for several years with this extra growth that we've seen, and it really contributed to a few things. One is our test scores, sort of what we've done and I know that tests are changing with Common Core. We don't have test scores this year, but every year for 10 years in a row, our test scores increased. We saw continual improvement in our school system. We saw continual growth of our teachers, really giving them the training they needed to work with these students, and really moving to a capability of, within our school system, to give these kids the ability to better graduation rates, better college going, career. 90-some% of our kids go to college after high school. So all those increases in all those kind of areas have caused people to go, okay, I want to come to Dublin. I want to be part of that place. I want to raise my kids in Dublin. We've really seen the changes we've done at our high school and the additions we've done in our middle school, certainly the new schools that we've built. You see people get excited about wanting their kids to go to these places. Physical buildings, theoretically, you don't think you have a lot to do with that, but I mean, it really gets people charged up when they see that high school. And there were some alumni went through there. I think it was the class of 79, class of 79 went through, and they were just utterly amazed as they walked through. It wasn't even the same campus. They loved it. And so all those things we've been working on to get it there caused this X factor on top of just the standard growth path that we've had. And that's exciting to us. It's a bit challenging sometimes, but it's exciting that we've actually moved down that path. We've done some things. We believe it's going in the right direction, and it will continue to move down that path. Common Core is going to be a big part of that for us. We've been on this track for several years already. We see that as the right next step. We see that as a way to educate our kids so they're ready for the 21st century. They really know what's going on. They really understand sort of all what it takes to get a job and to be productive in society going forward. It's not just about learning. It's not just about facts. It's really about how do you do research? How do you apply that research? How do you debate and really get your point across and influence people? Not just about regurgitating facts. So I think we made that change. We're doing really well with that. I'm going to have Megan talk a little bit more about some other parts of the X Factor.
Hi everyone, thanks for having us here today. I wanted to talk about a couple of things that we are very proud of that help make our school district a wonderful place to be. I want to talk about wellness, I want to talk about how we educate the whole child, and I want to talk about how we have a supportive community. For wellness, we actually have as one of our core values that wellness is a critical component of student learning. It's something that we talk about a lot, it's something we really believe in. For example, we spend time talking about how many tetherball courts there are at each elementary school. We talk about making sure we have the right support systems in place for kids. This is something that is really something we do all across the district, and I think it's something that makes Dublin such a special place, that we do care a lot about our kids and spend a lot of time thinking about all the things that contribute to wellness, also, school nutrition, school lunches, things like that. We also have a strong focus on educating the whole child, and by that I mean we offer a lot of interesting programs and classes beyond the usual academic experience. For example, in the middle school, within just the last couple of years, one of the actual classes you can take is band. And it used to be that band was sort of an afterthought, and it was a program that you could hop into after school if you had the time, maybe once a week, and in 3 years maybe you'd learn to play an instrument. But now in 6th grade, for example, you can take band as an actual class and you spend as much time in band as you do in math. And for example, my daughter is doing that this year, and she has already learned to play an instrument, and it's only November. So that's just one example of how we offer a lot of different kinds of programs and opportunities for the kids. We really want them to find their heart's home somewhere in our school system, whether it's band or whether it's math or debate or many, many things. We just try and offer all of those different kinds of programs so that kids can find the thing that really resonates with them and then have the resources there to be successful. The final thing I'd like to talk about is that we have a very supportive community. And by that I mean a couple of things. We have amazing teachers. I know there's lots of places that have them, but I'll tell you we're one of them. We really value our teachers and all that they bring. Our teachers, support staff, leaders, and of course it's a much larger group, but we really value all the things that they bring to the classroom and to the experience. We also have actively involved parents, and at all of the sites, the high school, the middle school, and all the elementary schools. And I think that really makes a difference. The parents are very involved, and that helps to make the school district a thriving environment for the kids and for the staff. And we also have a supportive community in terms of partnerships with business. We have Dublin Integrity in Action, which is part of our character development program, Dublin Partners in Education, and also, we have had success passing parcel tax and bond measures. So I think it really shows that our community is behind us and supports us in all of the ways that we are trying to give every child the opportunity to reach their potential. Thank you.
So, we're really proud of our schools. I think you can tell that, right? And we believe that great communities have great schools, and that great schools help communities to be great. We believe that. We live that each and every day. Inside of your folder is also what we call our single page. I'm only going to refer to that because you've probably seen a whole bunch of these. These are summaries of strategic plans. And what this shares with you is what the vision and mission of this school district is. And we believe it and we live it. We believe that our responsibility is to help every single student, and we are serious, every student to be college and career ready. Every one of them. And we work diligently to move that forward. The big shift that we've all heard about now is from our California standards to the Common Core standards that Sean talked about. That's a big, big shift. Lots and lots of change is coming. Lots more integration of technology so that students can use technology for research, for writing, for project-based learning. That's the kind of thing that we are now shifting into in a big, big way. And if you'd like to hear a little bit about it, I think it would be very useful to you. I want to invite you to our parent nights that are coming up on the 19th and 20th of this month at Dublin High School. Actually, you know what? You can kill two birds with one stone. How many of you have been on the Dublin High School campus? That means a whole bunch haven't. If you want to see an amazing high school campus that has been completely rebuilt, it looks like a community college. We think it provides the environment that makes a huge difference for kids and is one of the reasons that we are moving forward like we are as a school district. This is where this event is. It's at the high school. We would love to have you come to that. I would also like to invite the Bay Area group, the Realtors group, to an open house at the high school that we will set the stage for perhaps in the spring. We've done this, I think, a couple of years ago. Had a great turnout in our library. You can have firsthand and go on a tour yourselves of the entire facility. So we'd like to invite you to that. And now what we'd like to do is spend a few minutes answering your questions. Thank you so much for listening to us this morning. Does anybody have a question that you would like us to answer today? It was that good? Fantastic. It's very rare to have that happen.
Amazing.
Anything that you'd like to know about growth, anything you'd like to know about our scores and so on. Here's one right here.
Yeah, it actually is about scores. Oh, thank you.
Fantastic.
Good morning. Anyway, I was at the Castro Valley meeting a few weeks back, and their school superintendent was there and indicated that the state is no longer using the API system. Is that correct?
There is no API system scores for the last 2 years. It will be recalibrated, but I believe a score like the API, if not the API, will be coming out, and that will happen next fall. But there's been a hiatus of 2 years now because of the fact that the new Common Core standards have come in, yes.
I see.
But the answer is there will be scores next fall.
Okay.
The tests
Not for this year.
Not, well, those will be this year's tests in the spring.
Okay.
The results come out in the fall, yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
You bet. So the question is, how are we handling all that growth? At this point, we've got some overcrowding going on in our elementary schools, particularly in the east of our community. And we are working towards continuing to build schools. We're about to open our newest elementary school next fall. Amador Elementary School in the east of our community is built to as big as you can build an elementary school in California, 950 students. Let me let that soak in a minute. It's our first 2-story elementary. It is a magnificent facility for learning. I'm so excited about this. But that's the kind of thing that we're moving towards. Nevertheless, you're going to see elementary schools continue to get bigger. You're going to see middle schools get bigger, and we're going to see a great big high school in Dublin. Dublin High will be a very large high school. It currently has 2,000 students in it. When we finish it build out, it'll be somewhere around 3,000 students. That's a big high school. That's a big high school. Let me give you an example of 2 others that are similar in size. Foothill, Amador, both around 2,500. So those are, you're getting into big schools, absolutely. And the issue there is the funding to build schools. I could speak for an hour on this issue, and I won't, so I'll give you the 1-minute version. Schools are built from 3 sources of funding. 1, developer fees, impact fees. 2, state of California matching funds. 3, local fees. That could be a bond measure. That could be a partnership with the city. That could be those kinds of things. But the 2 big ones are developer fees and the state dollars. The state is out of dollars. And the state just stopped at this particular point, putting a state bond measure on to provide those dollars. So that means that leg of the stool has been pulled out from schools. We are struggling with that. We have 2 elementary schools to build. Those 2 elementary schools are short approximately 40% of the funding to build them. That's a big gap to fill. Big, big gap. This is a state issue. It's not about Dublin growing too fast, not about the school district operating too slow. It's about the state not fulfilling their constitutional responsibility. But that's the issue. That does not impact class size to a huge degree. We have contract limits of 28 students in our classes for our teachers association. We measure that. We'd like that to be down around 25, and in some cases we tip beyond that because of that factor, because we've got to fit them in somewhere. But that's the issue.
And one other thing at the high school, we just started a program this year, and we'll continue to walk through this. As the new freshmen came in this year, we started our freshman mentoring program to really change the way our kids are looking at going through high school, giving them opportunity, making them more connected in the high school as they go through. So juniors and seniors actually are mentoring the freshmen, and it's the first year, so you're going through a new program, all that, but it seems to be going well. We're really seeing about 2 or 3 years as those kids that are being mentored now become mentors, that this will be a way to keep kids engaged in school. They have somebody that they go to that understands what goes on, that's been through it, and can really go. And along with that, we're putting in an additional period to allow those kids some extra time. If they need to go get help from a certain teacher, they need a little bit of time to get some homework done because they're playing sports after school. So we're really looking at how do we give those kids some extra capacity and capability, and it does give us some ability to make some adjustments in sort of those kind of classes as we go through. But we see that as a real need as our kids are getting more and more pressure to exceed, to do well, all the way through. I mean, I know back, 1,000 years ago when I was in high school, it was about college, doing well in college. Now it's really about doing well in high school, and even in middle school a little bit. So we want to give them the capability to do that. We're making some adjustments at the high school programs to make that happen as well.
Thank you.
Northern California, we're kind of run by the schools here. And, you guys have always had kind of a lag behind Pleasanton and some of the other school districts. How are you getting it out to the people that you are achieving your goals and you are coming up to the rest of us? Because I know I wouldn't have bought in Dublin when I bought. I went and I looked at the school districts, and if they weren't at least 95% where these kids went to college, I didn't even look at you. You were erased. So how are you changing that?
So we have 2 ways. Number one, we've raised standards, and our standards have continued to move up very significantly. Our test scores have gone up for the last 10 straight years. The old API, the one that has gone away and is going to be replaced, had a mark of 800 was supposed to be high. Anybody above 800 was supposed to be really solid. Well, we are a 900 school district. 900 schools. We are right on the Pleasanton school size right now, scores right now. And I would put our schools up against any school. So I think this is an issue of continued growth and work. And I would say to you that and we're serious when we say every student succeeded. We're not separating kids out. We work diligently to get every student to be successful. And we provide the image, and we believe in imaging campaigns that have helped us improve that image because we are performing. And we will continue to perform, I guarantee it, because of the leadership that we have in this community, because of the teachers that we have in our schools, And because we're on a mission. We are on a mission to make this work, and you will see that in our school district as it continues. And as the Common Core comes in, you will see just tremendous things from our school district, just like there are in all of the other school districts around us. I would be proud to send my kids to Dublin, to Pleasanton, to Livermore, to Castro Valley, to San Ramon, because I think they all do a great job. And there's differences in school districts and communities that also impact those scores. By the way, just FYI, my 2 grandsons go to one of my schools. I'm really proud to say that. Makes a big difference for me. And so I think we're on the move. I think you'll see us continue. I really appreciate that question. Thank you very much for that. Okay. Are we out of here? Are we done? Thanks, everybody.
Nice to see you, Sean. Dr. Hanke, thanks for coming. Hey, if we need to get some more of those folders, where would we go?
There's no more back here.
There's no more.
Outside of here, can we pick those up
I'll
somewhere?
make them available.
Thank you, Doctor.
I'll set up a whole nother set of those. We'll get you another 50 of those. I think give everybody a chance to see that. I really hope to see you at those Common Core nights. You will learn a tremendous amount of information about what the shift in education is. It's a big one, so it'll be great. Thank you very much.
Thanks again. Let's give a round of applause. Dr. Hanke, Sean and Megan, Dublin School District. All right, we gotta keep moving here.